Hey friends! Okay, to all of you single ladies and the brave single guys joining us today. For those of you who know my story, I did not get married until 5 days before my 29th birthday. And during my single 20s, I heard a lot of things that were extremely unhelpful. And I know they were well-intentioned, said out of love, but they were much more hurtful than helpful. And so today I want to talk about 4 of those things and a different way to look at them. By the way, my name's Tiffany Dawn. If you're new here, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Feel free to hit subscribe to see more videos like this and about relationships. And for all of you, please comment below which one of these 4 things do you hear all the time? Or is there something else that we should add to this list? So thing number 1 that I heard all the time when I was single is, you're so lucky to be single. Marriage is hard. And I just wanted to say, so why is everyone telling me that I'm so lucky, but given the chance, you're all getting married? And I just want to give a different perspective on that. Yes, marriage can be hard. I've been married almost 5 years now. I love my husband. I love being married, but there are things that you work hard on in marriage. And yet there's also hard things about singleness. Every season of life has its ups and its downs. It has the good parts and the hard parts. And anytime there's a dream in our heart for something that hasn't happened yet, whether that's marriage or kids or ministry or whatever, anytime there's that unmet desire, that is hard. And so what we need to do is simply acknowledge, it can be hard to be single, and it's okay for that to be hard. We don't need to feel guilty or think, well, I'm the lucky one. Instead, just say, you know what? It's okay if this is hard sometimes. That is normal. Thing number 2 that I heard all the time is, as soon as I became content, God sent my husband. As if God is a vending machine, and if I put in contentment, out comes a husband. I used to get so frustrated by this because I felt like, well, I can never make myself stop wanting to get married, and so how will I ever get married? I have to stop wanting it in order to get it, you know? What I've discovered is that contentment isn't a change in your desires. It has to do with the state of your heart. Having a surrendered heart that says, well, I'm not gonna go out with a guy who treats me like garbage just to be with somebody. Instead, it says, God, I'm gonna trust you even as I still want to get married. I believe I became content in that I was surrendered to God, and I wasn't so find me a husband right now, whoever it is. When I was 25, I didn't get married until right before I turned 29. And so there were years of my life that I believe I was content and I was still single. And I love that that is my story, that I feel like I became content and God did not just send my future husband right away. It's not a vending machine process, and it's okay if you still want to get married. That doesn't make you any less content. I actually talk a whole lot more about this in my book, Boy Crazy. I have loved hearing from you girls recently about how much you're enjoying this book and how much it's speaking to you. And this is exactly what I would have wanted to read when I was single. It's actually a love story. And no, not just a love story with Jesus. It's a love story with a guy that runs throughout the whole book. You hear all these ins and outs and the different guys who come in the picture, but this one guy is still there, and I changed all the names, so you won't know if that guy was James or not until the end of the book. But it also is a story about how my heart came alive even in the waiting, even in the singleness, and how that happened. So check that out, Boy Crazy, in the description down below. The third thing I've always heard actually is piggybacking off the second thing, which is God sent my future husband. There's this idea that if you're a real Christian who really trusts God, you won't have to look for a husband. God will just send it. And I really believed this deep down. I had this idea growing up subconsciously that at the right time, God would just send my husband. He'd show up on my doorstep wrapped up in pink sparkly wrapping paper with a note that said, "To Tiffany, from God, contains the one." I just thought it would be magic. But the thing that we ignore is that it's okay to go out and look for something. Even in the Bible, you see Ruth going to the field where Boaz was. She didn't just wait home waiting for Boaz to come to her. She went looking for Boaz. You see Isaac having a servant sent out to find him a wife. It is okay to go and look for something. It's like the parable of sowing and reaping. What you sow, you're gonna reap. This is a principle in the Bible, and it applies to every other part of our life. So why do we think it doesn't apply to finding a husband? It's okay to put yourself where there are guys. It's okay to do online dating. It's okay to try and meet guys. And if you want ideas for where to meet a guy, James and I made a video. It's called 10 Places to Meet Guys. It's linked down below. And the fourth thing I heard, and oftentimes I even heard this from fellow single people, was that the reason we're single is because God needs to fix some stuff in our character before we can get in a relationship. And I just want to say, There will always be things in our character that God needs to work on all throughout life, and singleness can be a great way for him to work on those, and marriage can also be a great way for him to work on those. Sure, there might be times when God does want to work on something. Maybe there's something in your life or in your past that you need to heal from before you can be in a healthy relationship, and that's very valid. But you know what? God can work on you in marriage or in singleness. I don't think it's so much about, am I ready yet? Is my character ready yet to be married? Whatever season of life you're in, let God work on you. So if you want to talk more about this, again, check out my book, Boy Crazy, link down below, and check out these videos up on the screen. I made a playlist for you guys of all my videos that I wish I had when I was single. Love you girls. I'll see you in the comments. Bye.